Now, these days, comics, they're online, they are in the movies, they're at the auction house, but it all starts in a place like right here with a paper and a pencil. And a man named Sean Chen. Sean Chen, 20 years in the business, you've done X-Men, Avengers, Iron Man, Wolverines, everybody. Today you're drawing me. How hard is that?
Well,
tricky.
Usually, yeah, those characters are made up, you're real, so the likeness is going to be a problem.
Yeah, the pressure is on. Now you work pretty much in isolation here in this little room in Queens off of your bedroom.
Right, yeah, so I have a long commute, and usually when I show up for work, I'm in my underwear.
Let's talk about breaking into the business. How hard is it? Can you just walk into Marvel or DC Comics and get a job?
Not really. Usually, people, before they made it to Marvel or DC, they probably start at smaller companies. So I took a portfolio to the San Diego Comic-Con, and before I landed a job, I went there primarily to get advice from other artists and editors on how to improve the artwork.
Now you will get an assignment from, say, Marvel. You'll do all the work right here. How has technology changed what you do?
Well, it used to be that we draw entirely with pencil on paper or ink on paper. These days, there's quite a bit of technological intervention. So I do the drawing still on paper and pencil, and I scan it in. That allows me to manipulate later in Photoshop.
All right, so you're going to show us a step-by-step of how you turned me in from just average journalist schmo into a superhero. Do I get a cape? Do I get to fly? What do I get?
You'll get a cape and a sword. How about that?
That's good. I can work with that. All right, let's get started. So the first step for a cover is the concept. What kind of information does, say, Marvel give you to work with?
Well, usually I speak with an editor, and they'll tell me roughly what the story's about, because quite often the story hasn't been written yet. And then from there, I'll work up a couple of thumbnail sketches. So these are the thumbnail sketches.
In this case, this is me in several different poses, one staying on a mountain, one kind of lunging through the streets, and one
bounding.
Sort of bounding,
okay.
Leaps and bounds. So you ended up going with which one?
The middle one I thought showed off your powers the best.
Next stage, rough sketch of me standing amid the rubble of the town.
Right. So in this phase, we're just trying to basically get the major image down on the page. So I'm drawing very quick, very loose, and just basically roughing out before I invest any time going into the detail.
And now the real detail. I mean, I can see the cars being uprooted. What do you call this stage?
Well, this is the finished pencils, and it probably takes an entire day to get this done.
So now you'll move from this storyboard to this. Who does this? This is called inking?
Yeah, that's the inking phase. So I primarily handle the pencil phase on the interiors, but in this case I inked it myself. But usually I would make a scan of this and then send it over to an inker.
So the next stage is we're moving from the inking, and I'm going to come alive in colors, but you don't do the coloring. Who does the coloring?
Well, that's a specialized talent. That's the colorist. Sometimes the penciler does the coloring, but I send it to my friend Tom Chu, who colored it up in Photoshop.
All right, the big reveal. Time to hold it up. Let's see, Sean. Nice. I like that green. Sean Chen presents Wendy Bounds Off-Duty WSJ Comics #1 issue. This is going to be worth a lot of money someday. You know that, don't you?
I hope so, yeah. If you've seen any of the Marvel movies that are out now, Spider-Man and the Avengers, this is a pretty typical scene. Like Manhattan gets destroyed and cars get tossed around and you have to save the day.
The sword of justice. My quads are bursting with muscles, the hair flowing in the wind, not a wrinkle on my face. I love you. Can you do my family portraits?
Sure, absolutely.
All right, Sean Chen. Thank you.
It's my pleasure.